Very good morning, children. Hope you all are keeping good. I'm fine too. Children, while I was correcting your FA1 papers, I can see the effort that you all have put in. I should thank your parents for their support and cooperation, and all your hard work as well. Good children, keep it up and continue doing the same. I'm waiting for all your presentation videos so that once you send me the videos, I can start sharing your marks with you all. So if you want your English 1 marks, please send your videos as soon as possible. All right, children? So, are we ready to start today's session then? Welcome back once again to our recorded classes. And this is Ma'am Anna Rajashekar, your English teacher. Before we start today's session, children, I want to ask you all, how many of you believe in God? I do, and I trust Him completely, wholeheartedly. And when you pray to God, He definitely answers your prayers. So, keep praying to God for all your needs, children. I know everyone will have their stories, like how God helped you all. It is not that God should come down and help. Whenever we pray to Him, He always answers your prayers through someone or the other. I've experienced it, children. Hope you all have experienced it too. So let's see what is today's topic all about. All right. So let's see what we will be covering in today's session. So we'll start off with the new lesson, which is God is love. Then we look into some vocabulary. Then we'll move on to grammar, how to use any, some, and few. So let's start today's lesson, which is God is love. Kindly turn to page 27 in your all-in-one readers, children, and toss your fingers through while I'm reading. God is love. In a certain town there lived a cobbler, Martin by name. He had a tiny room in basement. It had one window which looked out onto the street. Martin had lived long in the place and knew almost everyone there. He recognized the people by their boots because there was hardly anyone in the place who had not come to him for getting his shoes repaired. He was very honest. He was well known and was never short of work. Martin had always been a good man. In his old age, he began to spend more time thinking of God. He had lost his wife and all his children. One night, Martin was reading the Bible. He read about the man who hears the Lord's saying and acts on them. He also read about the other who hears the Lord's saying but does not act on them. Then Martin put his head on both his arms and soon fell asleep. He suddenly heard a voice say, "Martin." He stared at the noise in his sleep. "Who's there?" he asked. No one was there, but he heard a voice clearly say, "Martin, Martin, look out into the street tomorrow, for I shall come." Next morning, as he sat working, Martin thought over what had happened the previous night. At times, it seemed to him like a dream. At times, he thought he had really heard the voice. Turn to page 28, children. So, he sat by the window looking out into the street more often than he worked. After some time, a poor old man called Stepanik came. Martin knew him by his boots. He began to clear away the snow in front of Martin's window. Stepanik looked old and weak. It was obvious that he did not have enough strength to clear away the snow. Martin got up and made tea. He called Stepanik and said, "Come in and warm yourself a bit. I'm sure you must be cold." "May God bless you," said Stepanik gratefully. He came in and Martin offered him a cup of tea. When he had finished, he filled his cup again. "Thank you, Martin," said Stepanik, as he rose to go. "You have given me food and comfort both for body and the soul." "You're welcome. Come again," said Martin. Martin finished his tea and sat down to work. After some time, a young woman came. Martin saw that she was a stranger. She wore dirty clothes and had a baby in her arms. She stopped by the wall and held the baby close to her breast to keep it warm. The baby cried and she tried to soothe him. Martin rose, went out of the door and called her in, and she was glad to come in. "Sit down, my dear, near the stove. Warm yourself and feed the baby," he said to her. "Children, we'll stop till here, and I want you all to read the lesson the way I did, with intonation, and also mark all the new words with pencil in the reader." So let me explain the lesson for you children. It's all self-explanatory, but still. Now, there was a cobbler. A cobbler means one who mends our shoes. Okay? There was a cobbler in a certain town, and he had a tiny room in basement. Basement is right down in an apartment, or sometimes a basement can also be where we park the cars. But if it's only a one-story building, basement is at the right bottom. Sometimes a basement can be below the staircases as well, that small portion. So that's called a basement. I've put up a picture of a cobbler and how a basement room looks, children. So what happened? So Martin was staying in a tiny room, and it had one window as well. The room had one window which was facing the street. And Martin lived in that town for many, many years. So he knew everyone, almost everyone, and he used to recognize each and everyone by the shoe sound. Okay, so he was that familiar. So he knew who was coming by the sound of the shoe. And there was not a single person who did not come to Martin to get their shoes repaired. Unfortunately, Martin had lost his wife and all his children. Lost his wife and children means his wife and children had died long back. But Martin always was only thinking about God. He used to read Bible. Okay, so one day when Martin finished reading his Bible and he was going to sleep, he heard a voice calling, "Martin, Martin." So he was suddenly surprised. Who's that? He got up and asked who's it, but no one answered. Again, when he went to sleep, he heard the same voice calling him and telling, "Martin, Martin, tomorrow look outside the street." Street means the road, "and you will find me." The next day, Martin got up and he was sitting and looking outside the window. While he's working, he's only thinking, is that voice true? Did someone call me? Or is it just a dream? So as he was looking out of the window, he saw this man whose name is Stepnik. Okay. So Stepnik came and stood near the window and he was trying to clear all the snow from the window. but he was very weak to clean all that uh, the snow away. So Martin knew that he was weak. Weak in the sense he was not able to do any work. So then what happened? Quickly Martin prepared a cup of tea and called him inside and offered him tea. So after drinking, Stepnik also thanked him. Then once he drank, Martin gave him some more tea. Martin was very generous, right? So he offered him some more tea. And then when Stepnik was going, he said, "Thank you so much, Martin. You have comforted me both by food and body and soul." So he was very happy that he thanked Martin and went. So Martin, after his tea, he was sitting to start his work. Suddenly, he saw another lady, a young lady with a baby, and she was very dirty clothes she was wearing, and she was carrying a baby who was crying, and she's trying to calm the baby. Soothe means calm the baby, but the baby was crying. So Martin went out and called her inside and said, "Sit near the stove and warm yourself and feed your baby as well." Hope till here you all have understood the lesson, children. This is a picture of 2 cups of tea and the women keeping the baby warm and trying to calm the baby. Let's look at some word meanings now. Cobbler, a person who mends shoes. Basement, the floor of a building which is partly or entirely below ground level. Weak, not physically strong. Comfort, to lessen the sadness or sorrow of someone. Stranger, a person whom one does not know. And here are some synonyms. Synonyms means, as you all know, are similar words. Tiny, small. Honest, truthful. Lost, gone. Boots, it can be either shoes or footwear. Soothe, calm. Let's move on to grammar, children. In today's grammar session, we'll learn the usage of any, some, and few. Let's look at the usage of any. Any means no or zero. Any can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Now, when we use any with countable nouns, they are always plural, and when used with uncountable nouns, they always become singular. Let's look at these examples. The baby can't keep any food down. You can't go out without any shoes. I won't give her any more if she's ungrateful. And as you all know, we use any for countable and uncountable nouns. In the same way, you can use any for questions and negative answers or sentences as well. Let's look at these examples. Are there any chairs in my bedroom? That's countable. There aren't any mirrors. That also is countable. There isn't any sugar. That is uncountable. Hope you all are clear, children, where to use any in a sentence. Let's look how to use some in a sentence. Now, some and any are similar, but let's look at these examples. Now, some means little and a few. It is used with both countable and uncountable nouns, and when it is used with countable nouns, nouns are plural, and when used with uncountable nouns, they are always singular. Let's look at these examples. I must withdraw some money from the bank. Lynn sent some pictures from the wedding. He has bought some tropical fruits. And also, you can use some for affirmative answers or sentences. Let's look at these two examples. There are some chairs, which is countable. There is some sugar, which is uncountable. Hope you all are clear, children. Now let's look where to use few or how to use few in a sentence. Few represents a negative quantity or shortage. It is used with plural countable nouns. It means not many, not enough. So few means, in other words, not many or not enough. Let's look at these examples. I have got few friends in the city, so I am lonely. They have got few cake on the table. He has few photos on Instagram. Hope you all are very clear, children, where to use any, some, or few in a sentence, and I'm sure you can identify where to use these if I give you a sentence as well. All right, children, I taught you all half the lesson. I did explain to you all, and I also taught you all some word meanings, synonyms, and the usage of any, some, and few. So I think now it's my turn to ask you all questions. Are you all ready? I hope you all are keeping your pen and your paper ready to answer my questions. The first question is, now where did Martin live? Where did Martin live? What kind of a man was Martin? What kind of a man was Martin? What did the voice say to Martin? Martin heard a voice, isn't it, when he was sleeping? What did that voice say to Martin? Now you'll have to just fill in the blanks for these two questions that I'm asking. The first one, would you like dash chocolates? Would you like dash chocolates? Next, no, we don't need dash rice. No, we don't need dash rice. Let me see who will be the first one to answer all these questions correctly and also get a round of applause from me in the group. All right? Let's quickly recap all what we have learned, children. In today's session, we learned half the lesson. God is love. I did explain to you all. We looked into some word meanings. We saw some synonyms. And in grammar, we learned the use of any, use of some, and use of few with examples as well. Hope you all have understood what is being taught today, children. If you all didn't understand or if you have any doubts, please feel free to call me on my number or message me, children. And in case if I don't message you back the same day, I will definitely reply to you the following day. Don't get upset telling, oh, I messaged ma'am, ma'am hasn't seen my message at all. No, children. It is just that I might be busy either with your corrections or looking at all your classworks that you have sent or looking at your presentations. All right. So kindly give me some time, and if I've delayed anyone's message, I really apologize. All right. And now let's look at the last part of today's session. Now let's look at what has to be done for your classwork and homework. For your classwork, children, I will be sending notes via WhatsApp. You will have to copy the notes neatly into your English classwork book the way I have written. All right, please write neatly, children. And for your homework, You will have to turn to page 31 in your all-in-one reader. That is the second main, where you have fill in the blanks. Let me also turn to page 31. Yeah. Fill in the blanks in the following sentences using any, some, or few suitably. So you will do that. There are about 7 sentences. You will have to do it in the reader itself. Children, once again, I'm repeating. Homework, see that you do it in the reader itself with pencil. All right. Hope you all are very clear what your homework and classwork is. All right, children, take care until we meet in the next session. This is Ma'am Anna Rajshekar wishing you all a very good day and also wishing you all a very happy Onam. Take care, children. Bye-bye.